But yeah, I'm ready to go.
Me too.
Me too, but there's our players ready too. Okay, so this is a money match, guys.
Money
NOVAstalife.
Mitch.
Yep, money match going for $20 right now. NOVAstalife is at 4 wins, going on win number 5. And his opponent, who doesn't get a fancy banner because this name is not in the top 200, but everybody knows him, he's Az. He is our blue Protoss spawning in the bottom left. So we'll see what he has planned here. Hopefully he can take advantage of the structure of the map. Once again, going over this map, you do have the Gimme expansion that is surrounded by air. So you do see a little more air play on this map. And that third is a little harder to take as there's destructible debris and a very wide open area to defend. You can make a quicker path to your opponent by taking down the destructible rocks. The only situation I think the destructible rocks wouldn't come in handy is if it was cross positions, which I don't think we've ever seen on this map. It's always been one of the close positions. Cross positions would make this an extremely large map.
Yep. And I think that would be really interesting, and I hope we see more of it as we play more games on it. I think there are a lot of possibilities for this. The rotational symmetry, good for Az in this matchup, I guess, since his freebie expansion isn't as close to the Terran. Not going to see as many Blue Flame Hellion drops, probably, as we saw last time on this map.
Not a whole lot going on right now. We do have the gateway on the way for Az and the barracks on the way for Stalife. All typical. He did get his gas, so he may throw down a tech lab, may go for a factory. Hard to tell. I think it would be a good idea for both of our players to take fast expansions just because of how big the map is. That's pretty safe to actually take.
Yep, and it looks like Az is actually going to go for an 18 Nexus after his gateway. I'd almost go for a 16 Nexus, just because it's going to be so long before you get scouted, and odds are your opponent's not going to do any kind of rush build that would actually be able to punish you, and that can get there in time. So Stella, have you actually played any of these maps? Stella?
Zella? Gotta unmute yourself. Oh, he goes away during the matches, apparently.
Well, actually curious to see what he thinks about this being on Slayers and all. Do you see that Warp Gate research getting started? Looks like Stalife will scout as last. Is getting a tech lab on his factory now and producing a couple more Marines. Also getting a starport, so going for that quick 1-1-1 build. Does have both gas, so I'm thinking a Banshee.
Yeah, I would think so too, just for the mobility of the map. Unless you want to do some kind of Hellion drop, I know he is going to be lifting that factory off the tech lab. And I'm surprised, just it's going to be aggressive opening, but the map is still pretty darn big. We've got a couple stalkers out. I think for it to be worthwhile, he might have to get cloaked, but he doesn't have the gas for that.
Yeah, I think he's actually doing a very interesting strategy. I think his reasoning is that he's going to punish Az, who he's probably guessing went for that quick expansion. Probably going to punish Az for getting a slower robo. But Az is actually going for a robo first after gate. So, very nicely done.
Couple Marines pushing out right now. Actually, you see a scouting probe, take that out. So not going to get any information beyond the fact there are 5 Marines. And he is going for Cloak, just like I said, so gonna be wrapping around to the back of the base. We'll see if Az actually keeps an observer back at home. Most likely he is going to want to send it out since he does have no information right now. Looking at his vision, he hasn't seen a darn thing.
Here comes the factory scout. Gonna enter the main base. This may tip Az off as to the fact that it's a Banshee build. Normally when you get that factory, it's purely just for the starport if you're lifting it and not using it. And not a lot of starport options this early in the match, so.
Yep, factory usually a tell the starport's up. Although we've seen in GSL sometimes you use that factory to fake out your build. Actually go a completely different build. But not what Life's doing. He is coming in with that Banshee now, and Cloak is about to finish. As far as the Observer, it is currently over as his third, so he could pull it back. Looks like he is going to pull it back too. Life not using Cloak. There he goes. Does use it as the Stalker's Warp in.
Already has 4 kills, however. Going to go up for this freebie expansion.
So 5 kills. And just decloaks and runs away for now.
Life actually landed his factory and was trying to build a Hellion but was supply blocked. So that is very curious.
And Az getting a photon cannon.
See it, but here comes another Cloak Banshee. This one now with
5 kills as well.
5 kills. You can look at the income tab.
Oh,
We do still have Az ahead, 35 to 30.
Oh, and the Hellion came out. Doesn't have any kills because the Banshee's stealing all the kills. Currently at 9 kills. The cannon comes up. Oh, could have gone down, but no, the Banshee actually goes down.
Oh, cannon survives with 5 health. And
So-
he's gonna pick away at that factory.
Yep. Could just lift away. There he goes. So back at home, Life does have his second orbital command. Could get a third pretty soon. Hasn't taken down the rocks quite yet, so not able to expand there. He does have an SCV in the top right of the map, although it is now coming down for a scout. I was about to say he could have snuck an expansion up there.
You could definitely sneak the gold at the 12 o'clock or something like that. That'd be very interesting. Or if you needed the gas, grab one of those expansions. You could easily sneak the back door at one of the mains, since they are fully fledged expansions with both geysers. But we do see that Life is already churning out Vikings. Did see that robotics bay when he went in to the base with the Banshees. So Az gonna need to probably transition tech here or do something a little bit abnormal, because as those Viking numbers get up, those Colossi just get shut down.
Yep. Looked like a Banshee tried to come in. I don't think it did any damage. It does have 2 kills though, so it may have killed 2. Nice scan does go down. Sees the entire army composition, and as thinking an attack's about to come, throws down a force field on his ramp even though there's no army anywhere nearby.
That's what that scan usually means though, but playing it safe.
Yep.
Does have this observer in the main. Does see another reactor going down on this one starport. I think he's seen the other. Oh no, actually has not scouted the other part of the base, but should see that there's a second starport with reactor and already 4 Vikings out. So I think if he sees that, he will transition. You do see a Stargate coming up. I'm really hoping for carriers. Ooh, Banshee goes back into the base. This one has another 5 kills. Needs to do a little bit better job putting up another cannon.
Yep, just makes it away again. Has plenty of energy if it does decloak. It can come back whenever it wants. And Az needs to be careful because he's pulling his entire army to deal with this. And if we actually just saw Life getting ready for an attack, he'd just be able to walk right in the front door because Az isn't keeping anything there. But it looks like Az is now pushing out. Looking at the supply, he's actually behind. It's 118. Or Az is about to push out. And he's behind 118 to 106. So Life in a great position right now. Stalife's actually ahead on Harvesters, 56 to 44 as well. Az does clear out the rock so he can take his third Nexus. And it looks like he's going to go for these destructible rocks just to make the path to the other base shorter. This is going to be a pretty tough army to break. Lots of Marauders, lots of Marines, and
10 Vikings.
Yeah, those Colossi are not going to be long for this world. There's 2 Phoenixes, but even 2 Phoenixes not going to be able to block damage for that long.
This observer did see the entire army composition, so hopefully he'll know not to move out. Might actually consider going like Phoenixes with a couple Void Rays mixed in. That's a lot of Marauders and a lot of Vikings here. Vikings forming a nice little Viking flower.
Yep. One Viking, it looks like ruining it, but it's okay. Now it looks like it's time for Stalife to push out as he's moving up the map. Vikings leading the way, checking that Xel'Naga, nothing there. And Az just sitting here out in front of his base.
Oh, Probe goes out, does see the army coming in. Vikings trying to cut down those Colossi numbers before he pushes. And those Phoenixes immediately going down. Nice use of Force Field though. Actually doing a nice job microing those Colossi back.
There's still one Phoenix left, does get one-shotted by those. And now, man, those Vikings take down the shields in one shot. Takes 2 volleys to take down the entire Colossus.
One does fall, but the other actually very, very high health. Trying to hold down with force fields, but not enough force fields. Colossi doing decent damage, but those Vikings doing a lot of... Oh my goodness, actually though, as keeping the one Colossi alive, actually taking down all of those Viking numbers, and he's actually going to be able to hold on here. I thought with how many Vikings were out, Az might just lose immediately, but really microed back those Colossi well, made sure they did the right amount of damage, and was left with a decent ground army.
So at this point, it's actually starting to go in Az's favor since he does have that third base up. You do see Stalife just now taking down his rocks. The supply count is very close, 118 to 117 now. And the Harvester favor actually in Az's side because it's 59 to 57, and he's going to be able to triple to produce probes now that he does have the 3 Nexi up. Stalife is floating that command center over. Curious whether he's going to get a planetary or an orbital. And
Az needs to grab that gas at his third base, but yeah, once he does that, he will be able to make use of his Templar research, which he's getting now to throw down that Twilight Council. So we should be seeing some kind of Templar tech pretty soon. We also see double Stargate producing Phoenixes. Very, very cool. And getting that double forge for the upgrades. So
I'm actually getting air weapons level 1 for the Phoenixes.
Oh, but where is his observer? He actually had 10 kills there. Needs to put those cannons in a slightly better spot in order to protect his mineral line.
Did give Stalife a slight edge, 61 to 57 Harvesters now. We do have ghosts on the way. The Mobius reactor being researched. Weapons level 1 finally being researched for Stalife, so he's actually pretty far behind on upgrades. We've got weapons level 2 and armor level 1 about to finish right now for Az.
Yep, also getting that charge upgrade, which is going to be really effective. Probably wants to continue to chrono boost up those upgrades. Right now, just macroing up. Has that nice army composition, lots of stalkers, bunch of charge lots, phoenixes, and colossi. Warping in now 6 more zealots. So those ghosts not going to be too effective since there actually is not a lot of Templar tech. And those zealots really going to chop through a bunch of these marauders since he's so marauder heavy here. So I actually like this composition by Az right now. Raven coming out as well for Stalife. Very, very cool. We do not see that often enough. I'm glad these larger maps give us enough